Welcome, everyone. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the Tafsir of Surah al Adiyat. Now, this is a short chapter, just 11 verses, but wow, it packs an incredible punch. It's one of those parts of the Qur'an that really gets you thinking.
So here's our game plan for unpacking it. We're going to start with this amazing, cinematic oath about charging war horses. Then we'll dive right into the surah's core message, a really blunt observation about human nature. And from there, we'll see how it all builds up to this final, pretty sobering truth about the day of reckoning.
All right, let's get right into it with the opening verses. The surah doesn't ease you in with a quiet statement. No, it kicks off with this incredibly powerful, almost movie-like image. It's an oath that just grabs your attention right away and sets a really dramatic stage.
So the surah opens with what's called a divine oath. You see this a lot in the Qur'an. It's this powerful rhetorical tool where God swears by something he created to make us pay attention to a profound truth. It's kind of like God is saying, hey, listen up. What I'm about to tell you is as real and as serious as this incredible thing I'm showing you.
And this oath, it's just so cinematic. I mean, it paints this vivid picture of war horses charging into battle. You can almost hear them panting. You can see the sparks flying as their hooves crash against the rocks in the dark right before dawn. This isn't just beautiful language. This whole image of intense, loyal, forward-moving energy is being set up for a very specific reason, as we're about to find out.
Now, let's break down that first key term, al Adiyat. It means the chargers, or the runners. And while, some early scholars thought maybe it meant camels running during the pilgrimage, the stronger, more fitting interpretation in this context is war horses. These are creatures defined by their speed, their absolute loyalty, and their laser-focused purpose as they charge toward a goal for their master. It just fits the whole vibe.
And here's where it gets really cool. The Qur'an doesn't just say, buy the horses, it breaks it down into this 5-part slow-motion action sequence. First, you get the sound, the heavy panting, dibkhan. Then you get the visual, the sparks, qadan, as their hooves hit stone. Then the timing, sabhan, a raid at dawn, which is the perfect time for a surprise attack. This, of course, kicks up a massive cloud of dust, nakan, causing chaos. And finally, the climax. They smash right into the heart of the enemy lines, jaman. It's a complete sensory experience of effort, obedience, and total loyalty.
Okay, so you have this epic scene of these loyal, powerful, charging horses. And then, bam! The surah makes this incredibly sharp turn. It's like the camera pans away from these obedient animals and points directly at the subject of the oath, us, humankind.
And here it is. This is the answer to the oath. This is what all that drama was building towards. This one, simple, devastating statement, that mankind is deeply, profoundly ungrateful to its Lord. All that energy, all that loyalty from the horse was the perfect setup for this stark contrast with human disloyalty.
Now, we really need to understand the specific Arabic word used here, kanud. This isn't just being a bit forgetful or not saying thank you. Kanud describes a deep-rooted state of ingratitude. The source material explains it with this brilliant analogy. A kanud person is like barren, salty land. You can pour all the rain you want on it, give it sunlight, but it just soaks it all up and gives nothing back.
And this is where that whole opening scene with the horses just clicks into place, right? It's the ultimate contrast. On one hand, you have the horse, enduring the hardships of battle, charging into danger for its master. And on the other, that image is held up like a mirror to canoed humanity, who, despite getting endless blessings from its Lord, just complains and denies and stays ungrateful.
So, that's a pretty heavy accusation to lay on all of humanity. But where's the proof? Where's the evidence for this deep-seated ingratitude? Well, the surah's answer is fascinating. It basically says we don't need to call any witnesses to the stand because we are our own witnesses.
Verse 7 makes this incredible claim, that mankind itself is a witness, a shaheed, to its own ingratitude, its own state of kanud. The evidence for the crime is the criminal. You don't need to look for outside proof because the proof is internal. It's self-evident. Now, this idea of being a witness to yourself is understood in two really profound ways. First, there's the future testimony on the Day of Judgment. A person's own body parts, their hands, their feet, their skin, will literally speak out and testify against them, something mentioned elsewhere in the Qur'an. But the second interpretation is for right here, right now. It suggests that our actions, our words, our general attitude, it all serves as undeniable evidence of what's going on inside. you know? We're basically a walking, talking testimony to our own character, whether we like it or not.
Okay, so if we're so ungrateful, why? What's the engine driving this Canute state? Well, the surah points its finger directly at a very powerful and very human motivation.
Verse 8 is the diagnosis of the illness. It says that mankind's love for al-khair is la shadid, and that means intense, severe, fierce. It's a powerful love, and this intense love is basically called out as a main driver of our ingratitude.
And you know what's just absolutely brilliant here is the choice of words. The Quran uses the term al-khair to talk about wealth. Al-khair literally means the good. Just think about that for a second. It's this deep insight into our psychology. The Quran acknowledges that we are wired to see wealth and stuff as the good, as the ultimate source of security and happiness. It's literally using our own internal language to describe it. So the Quran isn't saying that loving wealth is evil. Not at all. It recognizes it as a natural, built-in inclination, something that's even beautified for people. But, and this is a huge but, it's also a powerful test. When that natural love becomes intense, shadid, as other verses confirm, it acts like a veil. It can completely blind you to your real purpose, lead to greed and stinginess, and make you forget your duty of gratitude to the one who gave you that wealth to begin with.
And this is where the whole tone of the surah shifts big time. Right after diagnosing the problem, ingratitude, rooted in this intense love for wealth, it delivers a massive, sobering shock. It's a wake-up call about the reality that is, without a doubt, coming for us all.
The surah poses this sharp rhetorical question. It starts with afala ya'lam, which is like saying, really, does he not know? It's a jolt, meant to shake you out of your daily grind. It's asking the person who's so busy stacking up wealth, do you have any idea what's coming? And the word for scattered here is buthra, which means a violent turning upside down and emptying out. It's total chaos.
And this great unveiling happens in two steps. First comes the physical part. Everything in the graves is scattered and brought out. But that's immediately followed by the internal part. Everything hidden in the sudur, in our chests, our hearts and minds, is revealed. The word husila means to be extracted, like getting the kernel out of a nutshell. Every secret intention, every hidden belief, every private motivation, it all gets pulled out and put on display for everyone to see.
So the bottom line is total, absolute exposure. On that day, the line between what's outside and what's inside, between our physical bodies and our hidden souls, it's just gone. There's no more public and private. It's all laid bare for judgment.
And all of this builds to the final concluding verse. After the powerful oath, after the diagnosis of our condition, and after that stark warning of total exposure, the surah seals its message with one final, ultimate truth.
You see, the culmination of all these earth-shattering events, the graves being emptied, the secrets being revealed, is that humanity will stand before its Creator with absolutely nothing to hide. No secrets, no spin, no excuses. And the surah ends with this incredibly powerful, almost quiet statement. The word for aware here is khabir, and that means an awareness that is deep, intimate, and complete, and has always been there. It's not that God becomes aware on that day. It's that His eternal, all-encompassing knowledge of our every single thought, deed, and intention becomes the basis for judgment. The surah starts on a battlefield with a loyal horse and ends on the day of judgment with an all-aware God, leaving us with one massive question hanging in the air. Knowing this is how the story ends, how should we live ours?